What's good, everyone? Shashin here. So this is gonna be a new series that I am gonna do for the channel. I'm gonna call it Raw Reviews. This is basically where I review like cinematic stuff, like movies, TV shows, or anything else of the sort. And unscripted, just purely my thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this new series, and yeah, let's begin. Deadpool Wolverine. Where do I even begin with this movie? Because let me tell you, this movie is like pure goddamn entertainment, yo. Like every second of the movie watching, dude. I was just hooked, man. I was just hooked, and have a desire to watch it again, dude. It's just wow. What can I say? So. I guess let me just start off with Deadpool. So, actually no, Deadpool and Wolverine. So, Deadpool and Wolverine, they kind of have similar arcs where they are trying to find a new purpose in life. Now, starting off with Deadpool, obviously the movie takes a lot into account of like the event of Deadpool 2. Basically, if you guys know in Deadpool 2, it can't be a spoiler because the movie already came out. But at the end of the movie, Deadpool took Cable's time machine, bracelet, whatever the thing it was, and he was basically messing with time. So, obviously, given the MCU, they had like the Loki series, they had like the TVA. Obviously, he would kind of cause attention to those people to be coming after him, and it seemed like a very natural fit. Honestly, it felt like just organically made well. And obviously, given how Deadpool who he is, he obviously kind of like fucks around and find out with the TVA, And that is kind of where we got to meet Wolverine. Now, I know that people are concerned with Wolverine, the Logan movies, right? That Logan movie was very touching. It was very serious and stuff like that, and it was essentially like, I guess, an end to like the Wolverine character. And Hugh Jackman did say like he wanted to stop playing Wolverine. Now, I know people are gonna probably think like, hey, doesn't him coming back doesn't that kind of make it kind of ironic a little bit? Now, I can definitely understand that, but trust me, the Wolverine that he plays in this movie is completely different. It is different than any other Wolverine that we have ever seen in live action, bro. Because let me tell you, the way this guy talks, the way this guy kind of fights, like especially his fighting against Deadpool, you're gonna notice like how different he's a definitely different character, and obviously he has like a different kind of origin story. Now, they never really go into the specifics, but obviously he doesn't have like the same exact kind of, I guess, I don't know if I say timeline, but like same origins as the Wolverine that we have seen from like the Fox universe and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I just love every second of it, dude. It's just so good, man. Seeing Wolverine wearing that suit like a comic, not a comic one-to-one accurate, but definitely comic accurate suit. I mean, it just looks, I cannot stop looking at that suit. I keep looking at the posters, man, and those things are just eye candy, man. And I know there's probably people out there like worried like, oh, why doesn't he have the mask on? Why didn't they show off the mask on in the trailers? Now, after watching the movie, I completely understand that, and trust me, not to spoil, obviously I don't want to spoil these reviews, but he wears the mask, I would say, at a pitch perfect time. And I was definitely hyped up, bro. I was just, I was like jumping on my seat. I was like, whoa, oh my god, like, dude, I was just, I felt like a kid, bro. I felt like a kid because then, let me tell you, like the X-Men movies, I've seen them as a kid, and I don't care what anybody says. I thought they were good movies. Now, this is just like the cherry on top of thing, like just the unicorn, because I have never ever to my life believed that we would ever see a movie like this, and I'm just very thankful to everybody involved for making this actually come into a reality. Now, before I get into like the villain or the villains, if anything, there are definitely a couple cameos there, a lot of definitely a very good cameos there. Now, there's actually one cameo that I was actually very surprised that he was going to be in the movie. I was very surprised, and I actually like the direction they took of it, because they intentionally made it where like the audience kind of has to guess who that is and stuff like that, and they did it really well. I'm not gonna go into it, but I really loved it, and I think there's definitely other cameos for like other well-known like characters, stuff like that. People may or may not know, depending like where you're born and whatever you love in. But I can definitely tell you they have cameos, and And I wouldn't say that they added cameos just for the sake of adding cameos. I think that they were definitely used effectively to push the plot forward. Yeah, some of them were probably used for the funnies, but I feel like it makes sense with Deadpool's character, because I think you guys have to understand, Deadpool's a character. I mean, he's, you know, a lot of comedy and also like a lot of like forceful jokes. So obviously there will kind of be a lot of like, you know, meta humor here and there, and I think it makes sense with Deadpool. It's within, it's on brand. So you know, it doesn't really matter, right? But yeah, there are definitely cameos you guys are probably gonna see. You're gonna be like, whoa, like I have never ever would have thought they would probably even show up anyways. But yeah, now there are definitely a couple of villains here and there, but I think the main villain here is Cassandra Nova. And if you guys don't know from the comics, she's basically Professor X's sister. Now I haven't read the comics obviously of her, so I don't. Again, my knowledge of her is just pretty much a surface, but obviously she's Professor X's sister, and that's kind of emphasized because the way I look at her is she's kind of like if Professor X didn't really have any morals. Now, she doesn't have the exact same power because they have similar powers, like they're both like telepathy and stuff like that, but it's kind of like handled differently in a way. And I think and I do like how she kind of does it, because the way that she kind of like does like her telepathy is different, like how like Professor X does it. Like the visual effects that went with it, it's like, yo, it creeps me out, and like I just feel so uneasy just looking at it, man. But I just love the effects that went with it. And she's a very interesting character though. I think I do have some gripes with her, but I feel like the gripes that's definitely something I'm probably gonna actually, let me just say it right now. I think the problem with the movie, the biggest issue, is that it's the runtime. So the movie's like, I think like it's more than 2 hours. Like I think it's 2 hours or 4 or 8 minutes. I don't know, but it's 2 hours and something minutes. The thing is, like, I would say I was definitely entertained, but I feel like there are some things that I really wanted to see a little bit more of, and obviously that couldn't be made possible because obviously the movie is running under a certain time limit. So I really wonder what probably other scenes they would have added if they had more, because I feel like this movie could have really taken it, because like maybe like 2 hours and 30 minutes, I feel like that would have been the sweet spot, because like I feel like that's like the movie's like biggest downfall for me. But again, I feel like as the movie itself, I was definitely entertained, yo. I think I would definitely watch it again, and I think it definitely says a lot, because I don't say that for other movies where I would want to see it again, especially after just seeing it, yo, because it's just insane. Now, when it comes to like whether this movie connects to like the MCU, obviously it kind of does in a way, and it makes sense by the end of the movie, and because the ending was very touching. Oh, and also the music, dude. Let me tell you the music. Now, most of the time, whenever I watch a movie, yeah, like I hear music here and there, but I don't really go back. Like, let's say for example, I go back to it or go to YouTube or try to like figure out what song was used, because I rarely ever do that. But for this movie, oh my god, the song choices were perfect. So perfect. There were songs like on a first glance scale, you probably would have never thought it would probably be like an R-rated film, especially like with Wolverine and Deadpool in it. But I love it, man. It's just so good, and I've been listening to them like on repeat. I was actually listening to one of them last night. I just love it, and the song choices were perfect. I think it definitely makes sense to like depend, because there's one like in the intro song, there's one at the ending, and there's one like for I think after like the climax as well. I just love it, man. Now there's this other one from like the credits they use. I don't want to spoil what happens in the credits, but it's a very touching moment. I literally just teared up. I literally teared. It's not the post credit, but it's in the during the credits. I don't want to like spoil for you guys, but it's a definitely very touching moment. But yeah, man. Just like, what can I say for the movie? But now I don't want to do numerical ratings, but I would generally say this probably movie is easily like a 10 out of 10. Now it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Obviously, nothing's perfect in life, but it just feels to me like a 10 out of 10 movie for me. Like the quality, the shots, the music choices. I feel like the character arcs were definitely good. I feel like the character arcs, like, they were good as they were, but the problem is I feel like they could have been taken more advantage of if they had more runtime, like I said before. But yeah, this is a movie I really strongly recommend that you guys watch, and I think like they made it because the way they did it is like Because I know like one thing about MCU movies that people have concern about is like, oh, I have to watch this movie, I have to watch this TV show. I did not feel like this movie didn't do that, because I feel like the movie, they did it where the average Joe, like as long as you know who this Wolverine character is or Deadpool, I feel like it's kind of like just surface level. I feel like the average Joe will probably understand the movie fairly well. And I think they did a good job for it. You know, it's like. But they did a good job on it, because I love it. I just love the movie. It's like, I love, just, you know, I can never say no to seeing Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. I could never say no to that, man. I could never say no to that. And like I said before, I do not consider this movie hurting Logan. Yeah, there are definitely references to it, like very clear references, especially given with Laura. And again, Laura's not really a spoiler, because she was shown in at the trailer before the movie came out. The movie, I would not consider. I think it's definitely like, it pays respects to it in its own way. You know, it does not. I would not say her, because this is a whole different Wolverine, like I said before. But yeah, guys, I really, really want you guys, because this is the type of movies we have been fucking wanting. At least I want, because oh my god, man. But yeah, man. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know this is unscripted, so obviously it's kind of my first time doing it. But I hope you guys enjoy my review. Feel free to let me down below what would you guys kind of prefer. Let me, if you guys have seen Wolverine or Deadpool Wolverine, let me know what are you guys' thoughts on it. Do you guys agree with the review or agree? Are you guys planning to watch it? Please let me down below. And if you guys are and if you guys like what you see with the channel, please consider subscribing. And thank you guys for listening. Take care and stay shining. I'll see you guys then. Bye.